touch. You got the touch.
This is Stan Bush, and this epic video from Optibotimus truly has the touch.
This is Optibotimus coming at you with another video review. And today we're going to be taking a look at the new Transformers Prime Beast Hunters Voyager class Shockwave. A figure that a lot of people have really been looking forward to. As you can see, really nice Voyager packaging here. You got a spinning hyperflux cannon, which I don't know what that is. You come around here to the side and then you see all the weird, these little bits right here plug onto them. You got all these weird bits plugged on, which is strange. You have all of his technical data. He's very slow. He's only got a 3, but everything else is very high. Come up to the top and it says, the cunning and brutal Decepticon scientist Shockwave plans to clone an unstoppable Predacon army. And that's all we got, because the rest will be on the instructions. Come around here to the back, you see his robot mode with the weird armor things attached to him. His Cybertronian tank mode, which a lot of people have already kind of complained about. Shockwave pretty much is now a tank all the time for us guys. I guess that's really just what we have to look forward to. Gone are the days where he transforms into a Cybertronian gun, which is weird in itself. I love how people love the giant gun, but have a problem with him being a tank. I don't know. He does have a spinning hyperflux cannon and snap-on beast armor, much like what we got with Smokescreen. Come around to the side, you got an image right there, and then you got the Try Me, and then you just push this in, and you can see it spins. So I wonder how well that gimmick's actually going to work, because you can do it, and you can see it's not always perfect going all the way around. So there's all that. You also got Predaking here on the bottom, but Shockwave. I know a lot of people have been looking forward to this guy, so let's get him open and see how cool he actually is. Alright guys, so here we have the Transformers Prime Beast Hunter Shockwave open up and out of its packaging, and per the usual, we're going to be doing the Tales of the Beast Hunters, Chapter 11, which is a continuation from Chapter 10, Deluxe Class Smokescreen. Come down here and you see his robot mode, and he's got the little freaky rubber bits attached to him. He's got his hyperflux cannon, which has spinning panels gather ambient cosmic energy to power blast. Okay. Missiles create miniature black holes on impact, totally destroying any target. That would probably mean that this dude's got the most powerful gun in Transformers. They create miniature black holes on impact. Wow. Energy Collection Vortex also creates a heat shield around Shockwave that deflects incoming fire. This dude is ridiculously badass. That's amazing. Now, coming down to the little story here, and it says, with Megatron gone missing, Shockwave makes a decision to end his Predacon cloning program. A force of Predacons united under Predaking could spell doom for the Decepticons as well as the Autobots. He's in the middle of shutting down his hyper-evolution laboratory when he spots an Autobot spy hiding in the shadows among the still occupied chambers. A plan forms in his precise and brilliant mind: destroy the Autobot and the lab, and lay the blame for the annihilation of the cloning program at the feet of Optimus Prime and his soldiers. Such an event would drive Predaking into a rage that would doubtless utterly consume the Autobots in its fury. And you see Chapter 12 continues with Skystalker, which is the Wave 3 Deluxe figure that I'm really mostly looking forward to. As for Shockwave himself, as you can see, he's a very Transformers animated style tank looking thing. Now, I don't mind how he looks. A lot of people have kind of complained about him. It is what it is. It's a Cybertronian tank. He works. My biggest complaint is he's not very symmetrical. Like his cannon arm comes up here to the top, and you have his shoulder bit right here, but you don't have anything there. The shoulder bit for his regular arm is down here on the bottom. And then obviously when you come around here to the back, you don't have that kind of symmetry going on. So that really does kind of bug me. It's not something that I really like. And that's honestly probably the biggest nitpick for me, is the symmetry. Not the fact of how he looks. Like I said, I don't think he's all that bad looking. People have kind of complained about his hand hanging out here. There's really nothing you can do. You can't fold it up underneath here or anything because it doesn't move that far. I mean, the wrist does bend like this, but because the back of him, this whole gray bit is right there, you can't really move it up. Zooming in so you can see that you got his like thumb right there, and that's as far up as you can really kind of get it, I suppose. So that is always kind of dangling there. So if that bugs you, sorry, there's not much you can do about it. Now, in this mode, he does come with some accessories. These are the little rubber beast bits. They are a much more rigid rubber than what we got with Smokescreen. They're not as flexible, but they are still a fairly pliable kind of rubber. Now, these little bits right here, you come around here, they just peg in here. You got little holes on his feet that you just slot these in, and there's his claws on his front wheels, and then this little bit right here just comes around, and that just pegs in right like so. If I can find that little notch, come on, get in there. Why aren't you going in there? There we go. It just slots in there, but that's really kind of weird looking. I don't quite get it. It's really kind of strange. It looks like some weird kind of beast in this mode. I mean, you got eyes, you got a nose, you got like a dangly mouth, and then you got claws right here. I mean, and when you have it like this, it really does kind of remind me of the Thunder Tank, I suppose, like a mutated Thunder Tank. But I mean, I'm not a big fan of these, so the wonderful thing is you don't have to have them actually on there. Now, he does have his cannon gimmick, and all you do to activate that is push this down, and it spins, and you can really kind of see what's going on because it spins fairly fast. When you spin it, these are on springs. They actually spring outward, and you got this reddish, pinkish, kind of translucent tip. It's stationary. It doesn't come out. It's not a missile or anything. And then it springs right back. So it's constantly closed, and like I said, it spins. But when you do that, then, oh, wow, that actually lined it up nice. But as you can see there, it doesn't always do that. Now, people were asking about how loose this is rotating. You can kind of hear it. When you rotate it around, it's like, because of the gears or something, it kind of acts like a ratchet joint where it actually holds this kind of in place, where it's not really flopping all over the place. So that's really nice. I do appreciate that. And honestly, the gimmick is probably one of the best that I've seen in a long time. That's really cool looking. I really do dig that. The parts that I really probably don't like is there's a lot of kind of soft rubber on here. This is a soft rubber. I mean, these move up and down. These are a soft rubber, and you can kind of see that this one is really kind of warped. That's just how it was in the package. His tank treads are a soft rubber, which is convenient because it actually acts as a hose in his robot mode. So there is a lot of soft rubber. I mean, you can see his head here. It's backwards, but his little spikes on his head are soft rubber as well. So again, and then his hands are a little bit more of a soft rubber. It's a decent looking vehicle mode. I really don't have too much bad to say about it other than the symmetry of where the shoulders are. That really does kind of bug me. But his robot mode's not too terribly bad looking. Now, for his transformation, it's actually really pretty simple if you ask me. First, what you want to do is come around here to this top section, his giant cannon, and this actually pegs in. Just kind of put that off to the side just like so. Then come around here to the bottom, and then this arm right underneath here untabs, and just rotate that out to the side as well. Bring this around, take these little side panels here, angle up so you can actually see what I'm doing. These just rotate, kind of rotate these around, get them out of the way. These come up and fit right across the top section, right like so. Then this section actually slides in. This is a bit of a pain in the butt. I'll show this off more later on. This actually slots in very kind of uniquely, I guess. You're looking down here at these little tabs right here, and it looks like they're going to peg in on the bottom section here where it's kind of the biggest. But in reality, what you're doing is doing it up here at the smallest bit, and you can kind of see where it fits, and we'll slot in. We'll cover that more later on. But just bring that up, bring this section back, bring these arms all the way down, bring this, and I don't quite get why this separates like this, but it does. And then bring that down like so. You can tuck these in like so. Come around here to the legs, straighten them out, rotate them around, bring them out like so. Do the same on this side, bring them around, and then you actually take these feet and you push them back, and they're actually fairly stiff to push back on this joint. I don't quite understand why it's so stiff, but kind of wiggle it and get it all the way back just like so. Do that on this side as well, and again, it's really stiff to do. Kind of annoys me, but there we go. And maybe that's not supposed to be that far back, but bring it down like that, and you have his feet lined up nicely. Bring this chest bit up, then rotate his head around, and that pegs into place like so. Straighten out these arms, bring these down, and basically here you have Shockwave. Now, one thing that you can actually do is come around here to the back, and this one right here, it's actually different. You can kind of flip that up, kind of get this out of the way. It tucks inside here. It's kind of a pain in the butt to get out, but you can bring this out and wiggle this. It's a little bit of a pain, and honestly, I don't even bother using this, but you can bring this down, then put that back, and then this actually comes around and pegs right inside the fusion, or whatever cannon, whatever you want to call the cannon, and you can actually give him his hose. Now, it doesn't weigh him down or anything. It doesn't pull it, so I guess it kind of could push it. I mean, you can kind of see it's moving his arm a little bit, but it really isn't all that bad, to be totally honest. But here you have him in his robot mode. Now, I do like the way he looks. Don't get me wrong. He's definitely a very kind of Cybertronian looking bad guy. And one of the best parts about him is his eyes. I mean, he's got some awesome light piping. My biggest problem that I have with this figure is that his hips here are on these ratchet joints that only move this far. Big ratchet, so you can't actually spread his legs and get him to pose well, because it's stuck out like this. I mean, or it's just stuck constantly like that. I mean, and his legs are way too close together, if you ask me. I just really hate that. And then you can get them going all the way out, but again, they're on all these different ratchet joints, and it's, I don't know, it reminds me of the old Ultra Class Power Glide from the Generations line, where I might be able to actually take this out, like unscrew this and kind of file down one of those ratchet joints, just so it doesn't have one huge click. I mean, that really just drives me nuts. I absolutely hate that. And then one other thing that's really weird is his shoulder bits. These are on springs. And I have no idea why, no clue at all. So you can't, like I said, you can have this hose here. It is flexible. I don't know over time if this would end up tearing or anything like that, because you can see that is kind of like contorted right there. So I don't know. Honestly, I may leave that tucked up as part of his wheel. It's something I haven't quite decided yet, but we'll see. Now, he does have the same gimmick in this mode. You just rotate this around, and I mean, you can really see. That's cool looking. I mean, it kind of hides it, and then it looks like it lights up because of how strong that light piping is on there. I mean, that's really very cool. That's one of the most impressive gimmicks, and wow, that's creating some really strong wind. This is really one of the most impressive gimmicks that that I've seen on a Transformer in a long time. I actually really like that. My only real complaint would be the legs. For the rest of his articulation, his head just swivels left and right, and it's a really cool head sculpt. I really do dig it. One thing that's kind of funny, People have really said that it looks like he's got a big open kind of Pokemon smile mouth right there, and yeah, it kind of does. His shoulders are on these just swivel joints so they move forward and back. Obviously, this one is going to be a little bit more limited, but you can get a real high range of motion with it. They move in and out. They rotate here at the upper part of the bicep, and then like this one here bends at the elbow. This one here has an actual rotation down by the gun. It bends at the elbow, but then it also rotates on an extra joint here at the gun. These little bits, you can put these really kind of wherever you want. Nothing at the waist. His hips, obviously, I showed you, they move forward and back there on the ratchet joints, ratchet clickety joints here at the knee, and then the feet have a little bit of pivot, but again, I mean, in order to get him to pose, you're kind of like this, and I mean, it's not bad, but it's really kind of annoying that his legs have to be that spread apart. I mean, it looks good, don't get me wrong, I mean, that looks really cool, but I don't want to always have his legs spread out like that, so it's kind of a goofy looking mess, I suppose. Oh, and then the wrist here is also on a ball joint as well, so you can rotate this around all the way around, move it in and out like so. As I showed you, the hand can't actually fold all the way up to tuck underneath his chest in vehicle mode because his thumb there kind of bumps onto the underside of him. So overall, though, I really do like this figure. I think this is a wonderful looking character. I'm really excited to see what kind of wickedness he brings to the Transformers Prime universe. And he just seems like a really fun character. Now, these bits here, they can attach again in his robot mode. You just push him in there like so. And again, I honestly don't even know why people would want these. They're not terribly ugly looking. They just, for me, they don't serve any purpose, and they're actually kind of a pain in the butt to get in because the peg is rubber and it doesn't seem to want to go in all the way. And then you have this bit right here that pegs into his chest, and again, it's a nice touch. It just, I don't know. It doesn't work. The color works really nice because the red really goes nicely here. But honestly, it really is just fairly derpy looking. So I'm not even going to waste my time with these. But it is kind of neat, I suppose. And I do like the fact that they didn't actually build that into the entire mold of the figure, because that really could destroy the overall look, I really do think. This guy looks perfectly fine as is. And honestly, I'm not even bothered by his big, gigantic arm cannon. It works for me. Now, for a size comparison, here's Shockwave, and his chest came undone. And here he is next to the Transformers Prime Beast Hunter Voyager class Optimus. And as you can see, Shockwave is a little bit taller than Optimus Prime is, which for me works perfectly fine, because Shockwave should be kind of this giant, imposing, monstrous doom bringer. For another comparison, here he is next to the first edition Bulkhead, and you can see that Bulkhead is a much more squat kind of figure to this guy. And he is considered a Voyager. He's just more bulky than tall. And then if you guys are reading comic books, especially the new Transformers Prime Rage of the Dinobots, this is a nice comparison. I mean, this is really very cool. I love seeing these two together. This is just awesome. Now to transform them back, first what you want to do, just kind of get these arms out of the way, rotate the hips here, bring this all the way up, and then rotate them out just like so. Do that up here as well, rotate, bring them all the way up, bring them down, and then they rotate around just like that. Bring the little toe down, and the feet slide all the way out. Then you're gonna see some designs underneath here. You got a little bulbous section at the top. That's about as far as you want to go. Do that on this side as well. Slide this out just like so, and that probably jacked everything up, so just straighten all that out. Untab this section here, and you're going to bring this down. Now I'm going to try and zoom in here so that you guys can see what I'm doing. Like I said, your instinct is to bring this all the way down and to get it to tab in. Actually, what you want to do is, as you can see, this tab section right here kind of flares out to the side. You want to bring it inside and kind of, so bring it down, and then you actually rotate the hip section down to get that lined up, and that slides in there. And you probably don't do it at the same time, so there you go here, and then push it in just like so. And again, kind of straighten these out, and that'll actually keep the wheels down in that position. So that's what you're basically looking at. Come around here to the hose, you detach this, you bring this up, fold this up, and then this comes up and around inside here. It slots on the underside right in through there, and then give that a nice little tug so that you can get it all the way through the top, and then push it in just like so. And there you have that done. Then just go ahead and bring this up like that, rotate the head all the way around, come around here to the arms, kind of move those back. These little sections here fold down. Do that on the opposite side as well, and they just kind of sit there. Bring this up. You want to angle it in, bring it around, and then bring it down. Flip these little bits up, and then this section here pegs down just like so. Do that on this side as well. You're going to rotate it around, bring it in, rotate at the elbow, then you got the little tab and the little square hole there. Bring that down like so. And like I said, there's no way that you can tuck the hand up underneath here because it hits the crotch area. So that's about as high as you're going to be able to get the hand, unfortunately. I know that bugs some people, but that's really all you're going to be able to do. And I detach that. So peg that in like so. Bring these back. Kind of flail these out like that. Straighten that out, and here you have Shockwave back in his tank mode. And if you want to, you can take these bits, like I said, and you can put them on here. I'm not actually going to peg them in, put it in there, and then that sits right there. I don't particularly like them. I think it looks a little bit better with them off, but you got that. But the tank mode is nice. I mean, he's got rolling wheels. The wheels under here roll. He's got wheels under here roll. The tank mode is not too terribly bad. I just think it really kind of puts some people off. Now, the transformation is really very simple. And that too might put some people off, but I actually enjoy it. But the real best part about this figure is his robot mode. It absolutely looks fantastic. And I really am hopeful that I'll be able to fix those hip joints, much like I did with the Power Glide figure, just to make him an even better and more posable figure. But without a doubt, this figure is well worth picking up. It's absolutely fun, and it's Shockwave. Now, this guy will be available at retail around the end of March, beginning of April. So if you are interested in picking him up, you'll be able to find him there. Or you can head over to Big Bad Toy Store if you click on the link down in the video description, and you can pre-order this guy and pick him up without having to worry about trying to find him in stores. But beyond that, guys, that's about it. I hope you enjoyed your look at the new Transformers Prime Voyager class Beast Hunter Shockwave. And until next time, this has been Optibotimus. Keep in touch with me. Find out recent purchases as well as all upcoming video reviews all at facebook.com/teambotimus, and follow me over on Twitter at twitter.com/Optibotimus. And until next time, I'll talk to you later.
When the going gets rough, you've been put to